Need an answer, run it through this framework. If you are lacking creativity, bring your problems to this 4-part Think Better framework and think different at the end. I have found that if you think well, you live well. If you think well, you live well. Well, how do you think well? I'm telling you guys, I've developed a 4-part framework to help you be more creative, get unstuck, and most importantly, get the answers you need. Most people don't have a doing problem. They have a thinking problem. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing, but they haven't stopped their life, paused, asked really good questions like, why am I doing this? What's the next move? We don't take time to ponder, and this framework is for that. Now, I always like to illustrate the importance of thinking better by taking two kids in the same classroom. Okay, two kids in the same classroom. They take the same test. One kid gets a 50 and thinks, I'm not very smart. I'm dumb. This doesn't work for me. Another kid gets the same exact score, but he responds differently. He goes, man, I didn't study for this. I could figure this out. These two kids got the same score in the same classroom. One, upon receiving the score, is not thinking well, and one is. This person won't make it. This person will be an overcomer. Why? Because of their thought process. So let me upgrade your thought process today. Think Better Part 1. Again, this is a 4-part framework. I'm just going to do this as we go. Subtract. Less is more. I'm going to tell you right now, there's something you're doing you don't need to be doing. There's something if you take away from your daily walk, you subtract, it makes it more efficient. We know this is true in the natural world. If you look at a garden, you look at any plant, if you prune it, it allows more fruit to be had. Hold on a second. Your brain has something called synaptic pruning. So like these neurons no longer are firing very much, so the brain naturally, you don't tell it to do it, does it just happens on its own. It gets rid of networks that are no longer firing. Your brain will subtract to create room for more. And that's the big thing. When you say no to something, it allows you, excuse me, it allows you to say yes to other things. Every time you say yes, get this, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. When you keep saying no, 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 you are creating room, you're subtracting for the right thing to then come along. So here's what I've learned about subtract. I played professional basketball, and I currently train a few professionals right now. A few of them are in the NBA, and you know what they're all great at? Just a couple of things. It's not 95 things they're great at. They've got a really, really good elite skill. And then the ancillary things, they're good. What have they done? They've decided that I'm going to be really good at, let's just say, shooting. This is going to get all my focus. They're subtracting. I'm going to get really good at this, and then when I get to it, I'll get to the other parts of my game. But I'm going to be great through subtraction. Another way of saying it is just this. We have all wasted so much time doing things we should not be doing. So part 1. When you're about to begin something, can you just say this? Is it necessary? I have come to learn most things are actually no. Great ideas, probably shouldn't chase them. I've seen this in my life. So I have developed, part of thinking better is realizing less is more, and you typically don't need to add. Adding can be good, but subtracting is just as important. Number 2, and I love this. Okay, you take your problems, you run it through part 1, subtract. Is it necessary? And even with the thing you've chosen, can you subtract from it? Number 2, questions. You know what's funny is I'm like doing this think better and I'm putting everything on this small little spot for you. It's okay. Part 2, questions. Here's my definition of creativity. Creativity is this. You're seeing everything else people are seeing, but you look at it differently. How do you look at it differently? You ask really good questions. Da Vinci, arguably the greatest inventor, creator, artist of all time. We have his notebooks. We have tons of his notebooks and his paintings and his drawings. It's full of what? It's full of questions. I would argue after reading so much about him that his creativity was birthed just by questions. Hey, why do waves fall the way they do? Why is the sun blue? You just ponder those questions. It leads you to a different place than you were before, because questions really, in my opinion, they interrupt this autopilot. We do the same things almost every day in the same way, in the same season. Questions, stop that. Wait, hold on. Why am I doing this? Where is this going to lead me? This is true in my own life, bro. I'm a teacher for 7 years, a public school teacher for 7 years of my life. And one day I asked myself, why do I even teach? Why am I a high school teacher? Just the simplest question ever got me out of teaching, because I realized I was only teaching because that's what my mom and dad did. They were teaching for 35 years and I just followed in their footsteps. I didn't choose it. I just kind of arrived there by default. But one question got me out of it. And so for you, you can use ChatGPT. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can have a conversation with yourself. Take your problem, take your issue, or what you're trying to be creative in, and ask a myriad of questions. What's next? Who can I get involved? What can I subtract from this? Questions bring you answers you didn't have before because you failed to ask them. Woo, boy, think better. Part 1, subtract. Part 2 is questions. You can do that today in the car, wherever you're at. You can do that right now. Pause this video, start asking questions. Number 3 is analogous thinking. Analogous thinking. Said differently, you arrived at an answer in one field. This is me. I arrived at a lot of answers and how to be great in the game of basketball. Analogous thinking says, okay, take the life truths you learn from this game and apply it to business, apply it to family. Take what you know to be true in one field and see if you can apply it to another field. Here's what I like about this. You've probably been successful in something. Go look at the patterns that you saw. Whew. Go look at the pattern. What caused me to be successful in this? What happened? What did I do? A great example for me in basketball, as I build this teaching and coaching and development series, not only for just here at the board, but for people, is like, you know what I learned about in basketball for me to be great? Exposure to different people and different way the game of basketball could be played. Well, taking that to today, if I want to be a great teacher, I need to get around different people. I need to get around different atmospheres, different environments, because I need to expose myself to it, because I knew it. Bam, skyrocketed my game. Well, this can skyrocket my teaching. That's analogous thinking. So you know your own life. What truths do you know? What do you know to be absolutely true in one field? See if it applies to a different field. I'm going to finish with one more here, as I love this example. The more I read, the more I see patterns. Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer of all time. Tiger Woods is. You know where his dad started him when he played golf? On the green. He didn't have him drive, didn't have him swing a club. He had him putting first. So he takes Tiger, puts him on the green, and has him get really comfortable with putting the golf ball, because he knew that's where each hole ended, was at the green. Then I read a story about a chess grandmaster named Josh Watson. His teacher had him do the same thing. Instead of starting with all the chess pieces on the board, he took him to the end game where there's only a very few pieces. What am I saying? Tiger's father knew something. Josh Watson's teachers knew something, that if you feel comfortable at the end of a thing, you have a great chance to be successful. Take that truth. This is analogous thinking. Take the end game and focus on that, and it can help you in your skill or your craft. That's shooting in basketball. You can dribble all you want, but the end game is shooting. If you have that, you can be really good at everything else. Number 4 is rest. Rest brings breakthrough. Hey, rest brings breakthrough. So here we have this amazing picture of the brain. We got the left hemisphere and we have the right hemisphere. And I'm making a point that rest brings breakthrough. Well, why is that? When we start to rest, activate's not the word, but we give our right hemisphere time to take random pieces of information and bring them all together and make it make sense. The left hemisphere is active right now while you're listening to this. It's very analytical. It's very literal. It's not creative. The right hemisphere is creative. When it's given a chance to work through rest, you can make the connections necessary or have the creativity necessary for the thing you need. Einstein, 1905, he writes arguably the greatest breakthrough papers of all time. Guess where he was writing this and thinking about this? On his boat in the middle of the ocean or wherever he was at. He was on a boat resting and thinking. Tesla was the same way. He got a great idea for a motor that was going to power cities. He wasn't behind his desk. He was on a walk with a friend and had an insight he did not have at his desk, but through rest and motion. Who else am I missing? Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Oh my gosh, Alan Turing, who was like kind of almost fathered the computer, is on a run one day, and while on his run, he sits under a tree, rest in motion, and gets a way to put the computer together. None of these people, and these are amazing people, Einstein, Tesla, Turing, they got their answers not behind a desk, but through rest, because their right hemisphere, the creative part, the part that puts disparate pieces of information together, was activated. It gave it a chance to work. So, okay, application. So important. Less is more. Ask better questions. Do some analogous thinking. You could do all of this through rest. You just go and play golf or play ping pong or walk or ride your bike. Activate, bring forth, let this right hemisphere work, and just have some daydream moments where you're running your problem through this framework and see what you get. My name is Robo Krebs. I love to develop people. I'm sure you got something out of this today. Could you comment below and tell us what that was? Until next time.